Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to you all. I said good afternoon to try and catch everyone out because it's actually the afternoon, but it isn't actually the afternoon yet. Anyway, hello everyone, thank you very much for joining. It is the GW16 deadline stream. We have got a lot to get through. Of course, the usual stuff. We will go through my team. I haven't made any transfers. We will do all the usual good stuff. We'll talk about that. We'll answer all of your questions. We'll have a look at any early team news because of course, we have early kickoff for Liverpool and Arsenal in the 3 o'clock games, and with no early game, we may be looking for some team news, potentially on Gabriel and potentially on Liverpool as well. We will get into all of that. Apologies. Stream always is a little bit late because I underestimate how long it takes my kettle to boil when I'm making a cup of tea. I am on lemon and honey at the moment because if you have watched my video yesterday, you will know I've sounded and felt a little bit better than I do at the moment, but I'm feeling a little bit better this morning, which is always nice, and I've got a chilled weekend to fully recover. Should be good to go by Monday, I am hoping. But before we get into all of that, let's say hello to some of you in the chat. Thank you all very much for 1,600 of you watching. If you haven't already, please drop an early like on the stream. If you are new to the channel, thank you very much if you've joined from FPL Focal Stream, who streamed this morning, Oscars. Thank you very much. If you are new, please do make sure you subscribe. And let's say hello. Let's say hello to Janali, Fiona, Tony. Who else have we got? We've got Andrew. We've got Angelo. We've got AN. We've got Alexander Arnold. Immortal, hello. Angelo. To all the members and moderators in this morning, thank you all very much for your support on the channel. It is greatly appreciated. And Peter G, thank you very much for signing up at a top tier member for team one-to-one team support. Drop me a message on Instagram or Twitter, get yourself added and get yourself all of those perks ahead of the next deadline. Hello to everyone else: Connor, Ryan, Hastings, Hunbal, Christian, Khalid, Edwin, Henry, Dacre, Mulira, Brandon, PH, Joshua, Wholesome, FPL Espo, Gonzo, Anup, From the Balcony, Adam, Mustafa, Mark, Monica Fisher, Todd, Rory, Richard, Ben, Jane, Hind, Near, Lucas, Peter G, welcome, thank you for joining, Mark, Fedi, SO, Rafat, Animal, King, Nathan, Cyan, Jake, Rambo, Ozspike, John, and everyone else, Mr. T, Gruff. Thank you all very much for joining. And that is now incredibly hot. Wow. Wow. Anyway, let's get into my team very briefly. So I've already confirmed one transfer. I did Rodgers in from Burmo. I'm going to do Lewis to Trent. Very annoyingly, against most of the prediction sites, Lewis dropped in price last night. So I have exact money to do the transfers I want to do now. I did have a little bit of wiggle room, but our plan is to do Lewis up to Trent this week. I've got loads of money in the bank, so I can do that move. But the future plan next week is going to be Semenyo and Cunha, potentially to Enzo Fernandez and Alexander Isak. Now, with both of these are predicted to rise in price probably this evening, that leaves me exact money in the bank to do those moves. Why is it? One of my pet peeves is I can't search Trent. And like I can't search Allison as well. Like I have to search Becca. One of my pet hates. Anyway. Who am I trying to? Alexander Arnold. There we go. So I have exact money for those moves over the next couple of weeks with 2 free transfers. You will have heard me talking my team selection about a -8. I don't need the -8 unless we see that Gabriel is unlikely to play. Because if Gabriel is unlikely to play, then I'm going to need a defender not only this week, but probably next week as well. Then I might be forced into upgrading Greaves or something like that, and then maybe selling Nori because I need the money back and things like that. So there's quite a lot going on if Gabriel doesn't play, because it will likely force me to do Greaves to someone like Howson this week. But in order to do that, then next week I'd have to sell 8 Nori down to someone like an Anderson. So I'm hoping that Gabriel is going to be okay, or at least there's a decent enough chance, because if there's a decent enough chance, then I just run with it as it is and hope that Greaves plays, and if not, just take Mikalenko. Because I don't really like that. Gabriel missing out today basically makes it a -8. So yeah, why not Enzo now? I'm going to give Semenyo one more week, I think. Yeah, going to give Semenyo one final week at home to West Ham on a Monday night. That's the plan. Assuming Gabriel starts. So, just before we get into some of the questions, the anticipation is that Gabriel should be okay. What we heard yesterday from Arteta, he was very coy. He said one of Gabriel and Calafiori have trained. One of Gabriel and Calafiori has trained, and then didn't say which it was. And thankfully, one of the reporters prompted him and said, "Is that Gabriel?" And he replied, "Yes, it's Gabriel." So this is what I mean. Like, Arteta isn't a liar. He just doesn't give out all the information that maybe if he's not asked about it. Like, in that situation, he didn't have to say that it was, like, he didn't say it was Gabriel who trained, but when someone asked him if it was Gabriel, he then said yes. So hopefully we hear positive news on Gabriel. They are the earliest joint kickoff, along with Liverpool. You've also got Newcastle and Wolves in there as well. So we might get some news before the deadline. I would be surprised if we get anything from Newcastle, Leicester. It's mainly Arsenal and Liverpool that we're probably expecting some. It is worth saying that, for anyone who knows it, FPL Buna has already changed his handle on Twitter to one of the Liverpool accounts. I'm sure he'll try Arsenal as well. Be careful with who you believe out there. Again, if you see stuff on Twitter that you want me to see, I will have my phone up and I will be checking anyone who mentions me on Twitter with any bit of useful team news. We will also talk about captaincy and all of that good stuff. Captaincy is incredibly, incredibly tight this week. Again, assuming Gabriel starts, from Joseph, would I bench between 8 Nori and Pedro Porro? Oh, and João Pedro. I would always bench the defender, so I'd bench 8 Nori. Who would I start, Bowen or Semenyo? Probably Bowen. If we don't get Gabriel news pre-deadline, should I do Greaves, Mikalenko to Kirkes as bench cover? I probably wouldn't, because it sounds quite positive on Gabriel. Unless we hear negative news, I'm unlikely to make the defensive move, because I know that it forces me into a -8 next week effectively. Why you don't make Gabriel to Timber? Because I much prefer Gabriel as an asset when he's fit and available. He's the best defender in the game, and I'd rather have Gabriel for 7 games than Timber for 8, even if it is this week. I still have Arsenal defensive cover with David Raya in goal, so I'm just going to hope he plays. You did Alisson, Murillo and Isak in. Are they okay moves? Yeah, I really like the Alisson move. I wonder if he's actually a better pick than Raya. He tends to make slightly more saves and he's slightly better for bonus, so I quite like Alisson. Murillo, I don't mind. The Forest fixtures are not that great, but they're very good defensively. Bench 1, Bowen, Semenyo, Cunha, João Pedro and Jackson. So I do have a pretty extensive benching ranking in the top right-hand corner. I'd probably have to bench Semenyo out of those. 000, you have 3 free transfers. So do I take out DCL and Burma and Johnson for either Cunha, Saka and Iwobi, Isak, Saka and Dibbling, or Jackson, Saka and Enzo? I wouldn't want the Dibbling option, but I'd want... 000. I'd be tempted to try and find a -4 to try and do like Isak, Saka and Enzo, or Isak, Saka, Iwobi, and free up a bit of money elsewhere. If you have to do it, then I would go Jackson, Saka, Enzo. There are slight rumours that there might be an injury to Nkunku, which is good for Jackson's minutes, but it's not confirmed yet. Chelsea didn't have a press conference. He's just basically Nkunku was meant to travel with the Chelsea squad on Thursday and just suddenly didn't. And then Joe Cole on commentary said he'd heard a rumour of a Nkunku injury, and then he wasn't spotted in training along with João Felix and Lavia, who are both also doubt yesterday. So it might be good for Jackson's minutes. Jackson also, for anyone who saw it, was very upset at the end of the game. He basically was upset, and Enzo spoke about it in his press conference, that Jackson was just upset that he didn't score. He wanted to be involved. It's a big game. He knows how much the fans love it, and he was upset that he didn't score and have as much of an impact on the game as he wanted to. I think that's just really positive. It shows how much he cares and how much he feels he can impact the game. And Maresca was very positive about him. He's Chelsea's number one, and I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, I've got him. When is Anderson back for Fulham? We're hoping it's going to be very soon. Ideally, for a lot of people, it's going to be for Southampton at home next week. If Aït-Nouri gets booked this week, I'm almost certain that it will be Aït-Nouri that I probably go to. Sorry, not Aït-Nouri. It will be Anderson that I probably go to, and leave some money to upgrade Greaves. Why will these players on long contracts care? Because, I mean, just because you're on a long contract doesn't mean you don't care. I mean, A, they can easily be sold. B, Jackson is a very good footballer and a very good professional who cares about the football club he plays for. I think that comment was a joke, though. Sell and Burma, and it also, like, putting a player on a long contract means they should probably care more because they know they're going to be here for a long time and they don't just want to sit on the bench. I may well be forced to make moves tonight if Alexander Isak comes through the game unscathed. Sell and Burma cannot say for Enzo and Timber, then get Trent later, or two, bring in Timber and Gordon now. I'd go Enzo and Timber. It's just extra transfers, to be honest. Sell and Burma, Kanate and Greaves for Trent, Enzo and Timber -4. Oh, if you could do that -4, then yes, I'd do that -4. I'd do that -4. I do think that Jackson, Isak, João Pedro is going to be very popular going forward. I think Cunha to the one of Jackson and Isak that you don't have is going to be quite popular maybe even after this week, but at some point over the next couple of weeks, because the Wolves fixtures coming up look absolutely horrible. So I do think people will be looking to make that sideways switch, and it's what I plan on doing. I don't have Isak, so I need more money. Wait one sec. Which defender should I play? You have Aït-Nouri, Gvardiol, Hall, Robertson, Kwanzaa. Well, definitely bench Kwanzaa and bench Gvardiol. One sec. Sell Bruno Fernandes for Saka. I mean, yes, I would do that move. Ahmad or Enzo? I'd probably go Enzo. Now, there is a little bit of concern that without Lavia, Enzo, there's a chance he plays a little bit deeper. But what's likely to happen is that Cucurella or Gusto inverts into midfield. And it will still mean Enzo's pretty far forward. Apologies, sorry. There's basically Holly's on a train and there is a problem on the train in front with apparently someone armed on the train in front, but I think all is fine. That's why I was suddenly looking a bit alarmed, but it's not her train. So Cunha to Højlund. I wouldn't be buying Højlund. No, I still don't know that he knows every week who his best team is. Yeah, the message did spook me a little bit. Apologies, but yeah, no, I'm good. It's all good. That's why I was a little bit spooked. But we're all good. Got Enzo, Palmer, Jackson, Captain Palmer, or Salah. Got Enzo, Captain Palmer, or Salah. I mean, if you've got triple Chelsea, then maybe you just captain Salah. Why didn't I sell Trent before the price rise? I mean, he rose ages ago. He rose last Friday. So that was last game week. Lewis did drop, unfortunately, last night, but he wasn't predicted to. So I was waiting for a little bit of news today. Ideally, I would have done it before the price dropped for Lewis, but I didn't expect him to drop last night. Is it time to sell Haaland if you still have him? He's killed your rank. Yeah, I mean, if you've got Haaland, I would still say selling him is still the better play. Like, I don't see anyone who doesn't have him looking to buy him back, even with the fixtures they've got coming up, which should probably tell you enough that, I mean, if you want to use it as a differential and hope he does something, but I don't think I'd be doing it. I think I'd be selling him. Bruno, Rodgers, and Trent, or Saka, Rodgers, no Trent. So, I mean, it's Bruno and Trent, or Saka and no Trent. I mean, I think Saka is more important than Trent. Like, Trent's great, but I wouldn't be sacrificing Saka for him. Is there a chance Lewis will play? Not this game, no, he's suspended. I will be selling him before the deadline. Mazraoui transferred to who? 0.6 in the bank also. Mazraoui to who if you've got 0.6? I mean, Kirkes is probably up there. He's probably my best defender to buy this week. You've already used your free transfer. If Gabriel is confirmed out, who would I take a -4 for another defender or play Greaves or Mazraoui? If he's confirmed out, I just play Greaves. I don't think it's worth a hit. Unless it's defender. Unless you know you want to sell Mazraoui in the near future anyway, then just do it. But if you think you want to keep Mazraoui anyway, then I would just hold on. No worries. Could I please discuss Cucurella versus Colwell to save funds over Trent? I mean, Cucurella has been really good. His minutes are very assured at the moment. The only thing is 0.6. I don't know if that's worth it. Like, there might be a transfer in a few weeks that you want to do, and if that money is more useful to you elsewhere. Listen, if money wasn't an object, 100% I'd go Cucurella over going I'd definitely go Cucurella over Colwell, but it's just what that money allows you to do. He has been pretty good going forward. So listen, if you want to take a punt, I don't mind the Cucurella pick at the moment. Are you sure about Enzo number 1 mid when I've shared Lavia could be out? Surely that could drop him down. I mean, we saw it. If you look at the game against Leicester where Lavia didn't play, Enzo was still played pretty high and he was still pretty good. So it doesn't massively put me off. I still think he's a good long-term buy. He's on some set pieces as well. Sell Rico and Trent and Semenyo to Enzo. Yeah, I mean, if you can do Rico Lewis to Trent and Semenyo to Enzo, I probably would this week. I'm not going to sell Semenyo to Enzo because I don't need the money and I prefer Semenyo this week, but I think the other one is a big enough upgrade. Watkins news, we don't have any. He is considered a significant doubt, though, going into the weekend. They said they're going to make a late decision on him, but given that he's not been that like essential to them. I wonder if he just doesn't start. And they give Duran a start. Greaves and Bruno Fernandes to Trent and Enzo, or just Rico to Colwell. I'd probably do Greaves and Bruno to Trent and Enzo, probably. Virgil, a good shout over Trent to save the money. I think that Trent is worth the 0.6 more, personally. But I don't mind Van Dijk if you can't afford Trent. Or if that 0.6 goes a long way. Like, if that 0.6 allows you to do Cunha to Isak versus not Cunha to Isak, then yes, I'd go Van Dijk. But, yeah. Yeah. So, bench Semenyo or Mitoma. I'd definitely play Mitoma. Start Semenyo or Wood. I'd play Wood over Semenyo. I should have all of those in my benching ranking. Wood is in there. Semenyo's in there. So, I mean, it's mainly focused on, there are attacker column and a defender column. Realistically, you're all going to play someone like a Cunha, aren't you, right? So, if there's a highly owned player who's not on that benching ranking, it's almost certain because I just think you should play him. And Burma's the only one, actually, which isn't on it that probably should be on it. The issue is I only have a certain number of lines, so I have to be... realistically, no one's benching Cunha, are they? Where would I put Burmo? I'd probably play Burmo over Enzo. And I'd probably put him in there. For the next two, Enzo, Bruno, or Rodgers. Enzo, Bruno, or Rodgers. I mean, Bruno, but he's about 3 million more than the rest of them. Cunha, 8 Nori, Bruno to Trent, Enzo, Isak for free. Yeah, like the issue is, as I said on my video, Cunha to Isak this week is just such a luxury move that I don't think is essential. But like, who do I prefer this week on paper? I prefer Isak to Cunha. So if it's for free, I probably would do it. But like, you've got to realise if you're doing Cunha to Isak, it is just something that could massively, backfire because of the fixture that Cunha has. But I do think Isak is a better buy this week. Getting Isak and Housen for Cunha and Van der Ven. Yeah, like Housen I really like. It sounds like... it sounds like Senesi is going to be out for about 3-4 months, which will take us about to game week 28, which is pretty nice. Yeah, like you should get these fixtures and then you might miss these couple, but you might get them at the end of the day. Like that's 4 months. January, February, March to the end of March. So it's 3.5 months. Realistically, you'll probably get to game week 30 with Housen. Like a lot of us looking to wildcard this week anyway. So you probably will get that. That's 3 months away now, that one. And he's been ruled out for 3 to 4 months. So if you're buying Housen, you probably... yeah. What's my rank target this year? Top 10k. Top 10k. It will still be. Realistically, we'll see. But it will always be my rank target. You have 2 transfers, nothing in the bank, really. You have Lewis, Visa, Johnson, Cunha looking to sell 2 or 3. I'd probably sell Lewis and maybe Visa. It depends how much money you've got in the bank. Again, though, I've been looking at João Pedro, Isak, Jackson as the best forwards at the moment. And yeah, the Liverpool defenders, if you've got money for it, it depends who you can really afford. I don't know how much money you've got. Well, I do. I mean, Visa to... I'd be looking probably Johnson down and maybe Lewis to Trent this week is probably what I'd look at. Start 8 Nori or Hall. It should be in my benching ranking. I believe I have 8 Nori above Lewis Hall because of the injury to... Yeah. because of the injury to Nick Pope in goal, just hampering them a little bit. Like, we all bought Dubravka last year. We all bought Dubravka last year. Sell and Burmo and Lewis to Enzo and Trent for a hit. I mean, I probably would do that. I think it's an upgrade this week, particularly if you need a defender and you don't have one. You got one free transfer. Who am I upgrading? Van Dijk. Your defense is fine. Greaves, Lewis, Cunha, Wood, João Pedro. I'd probably roll. You don't need to do any transfers on that lot, I don't think. Yeah, so many people looking to sell sell Mbeumo this week. My general thought process on selling Mbeumo is I'd only sell him if you're going to use the money on something else. If you're going to buy a Bowen I don't mind Bowen, but I don't think I'd be selling Mbeumo before Chelsea away, Forest at home, unless you're going to reinvest the money. So unless you're coming down in value, that's the only situation I'd probably sell Mbeumo, and I wouldn't do it just to leave the money in the bank. So yeah, that's probably what I would do. Munoz or Rodgers first bench. Always the attacker in my mind. So Rodgers. Harry, instead of asking which captain might score more points, think about who might blank. I mean, I just think it's pretty equal, whichever way you frame it. I think it's pretty equal. Should I bench Porro? I mean, I don't know who your other starting defenders are. I'd probably want to start Porro away at Southampton, though. Is Johnson good to bring in? I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be looking to bring in any Spurs players. They're so hit and miss. They look all over the place at the moment. So no, I wouldn't be buying any Spurs players at the moment. Virgil scoring a header soon, surely. I mean, probably. But the only issue when it's Gomez in that team is teams are very quick to now man mark Van Dijk at corners, and they double up on Van Dijk at corners, and because they don't have another aerial threat really from set pieces now. So actually Konate being in the team is good. And I do wonder if Konate particularly with the double coming up, will be very, very popular at some point. It's just one to keep an eye on. Or maybe, Raya to Alisson will be popular. It depends though, if you want to play the assistant manager chip if they get the double in game week 24. That's the only thing to add, right? If you want to go triple Liverpool, but you then can't play the assistant manager chip. So, yeah. Any news on Gabriel? Nothing yet. We haven't hit any news yet. No news yet. We're realistically not going to get news for probably another, at least half an hour, probably hour, because that would take us until, half an hour will take us an hour before the deadline. An hour will take us 2 hours before kickoff. So yeah. Did I just freeze? Or is it just my computer freezing? What's my team value? I don't know exactly. It's not bad though. I'm not going to do Cunha to Isak this week because I can't do it without selling Semenyo. So the plan is, as I said at the beginning, so this is my plan this week. And then this is my plan for 16. And then my plan next week is to do Enzo and Isak in for Semenyo and who am I talking about? Cunha and Semenyo. Did it just freeze again? Honestly. Did it freeze again? All right, no freezing. I think it's my computer. You're not freezing, all good. Get a Mac. I do stream off a Mac. It's a bit warm. I am wondering about upgrading it though. But yes, they've just brought out some nice new ones, which if I, maybe at some point, I will look to upgrade it because they are so nice. They look so nice. If I had the money, would I sell Cunha for Isak for a hit? No. It's not a transfer I particularly like this week. I'd do it for free, but I don't think I'd do it for a hit. Triple captain this week? No. The reason triple captaincy is now like pretty redundant for me is we're likely to have 3 doubles. The prediction is 24, 34, and 36, which now means we've got enough doubles to play a triple captaincy in a double game week. Part of the reason to play your triple captain in a single is because we weren't expecting this extra double. But once we got that Everton Liverpool game postponed, that made that sort of redundant now. So I would wait and just play your triple captain in one of those doubles. The plan is to play bench boost, triple captain, and assistant manager chip in across the 3 doubles. Free hit in the blank. We will have, I believe in January, there's a week or so break. Yeah, from the 4th of January to the 14th of January, there's a week and a half break. And I will probably do my first chip strategy video then. That's the plan at the moment. We might do another one during the international break, which is at the beginning of February. And that's literally basically as we've got the assistant manager chip. So, I mean, I might have to do another one before then. But the first one will be beginning of January, basically. What about Fleck and Alisson or Raya or still roll? If you can do Fleck and Alisson or Raya, I would. I like Alisson over Raya. My only concern with Alisson is his injury record for a goalkeeper is pretty poor. He probably has more injuries than any other Premier League goalkeeper at the moment. If you've got Fabianski as a backup, then yes, I probably would go Alisson. I probably prefer Alisson over Raya now. A few people are asking me what to do with Konate. Now, it kind of depends on what the rest of your defence looks like. Because, I mean, there's a chance that Konate's back for 21. Now, you may realise that you need to sell him for this and you can think about it again in 21 when he might be back. But you might be walking into 21, 22, 23, 24 double, 25. Like, you might be walking into a point where you really want to get back to having Konate in your team. So it kind of depends on what the rest of your defence looks like. I imagine most of you will need to sell because there's a lot of weak defences knocking around, including mine. I do hope to fix it, right? Looking at my team, my plan next week will be the 2 moves and hopefully Aït-Nouri doesn't get booked. If he does, I'll probably just sell him for a hit, although I could just play Greaves at home to Newcastle if he gets his spot back. I also don't know who I'll start. Enzo away at Everton or Rodgers at home to City. Because City have been all over the place defensively. Best Mbermo replacement for 6.4 or under. I mean, realistically, I'd go Iwobi at that price and just have them for the Fulham fixtures next week. Bowen to Gordon. 3 free transfers, nothing to do till game week 18. I'm not sure. I wouldn't do that. Feels very sideways. No. Start Howson or Aina. If you've gone Howson, I'd definitely start him. So the aim is in game week 18 to start doing something with my defence. Like, that's when Aït-Nouri's fixtures turns. I can sell him. The plan is to sell Aït-Nouri and Greaves to 2 cheap defenders. It may still be Howson and Anderson, which is the current plan. It may be a few others, but I'll have like 8.6. So that's 4.3 and 4.3. or 4.2 and 4.4. 4.2 and 4.4 is most likely because Anderson of Fulham is 4.2. So I'll go Anderson, and then I basically have a pick of my choice of 4.4 defenders. Is the current plan. Like, if Botman's back, I mean, their fixtures are okay. Like, they have some nice ones there. Like, I could end up going Botman if he's back. He is meant to be okay. Why did I comment? I didn't. That's obviously someone creating a fake account for me. Let me just comment. I just sent him a message. Start a Stupinan or 8 Nori. Probably a Stupinan. Bernardo to Enzo. Yes. Like, fine transfer. Yeah. Yeah. I don't love the Bernardo Silva pick, so yes, I probably would do that. Do I suggest Watkins out for a -4? I mean, I don't know if you've got your first sub, but I probably would. If you can do Watkins to... I mean... Someone pretending to be me in my own chat. What a sad little life, Jane. Isn't that how the meme goes? What a sad little life. It's Isaac, Captain Crazy. He's top 5 on my captain. He's 5th in my captaincy ranking, so I don't mind it. I do think the others have just got a bigger haul potential, but yeah. Is Jackson to Isaac worth a hit? Absolutely not. I think most of us will want both of them soon. So no. Jacob Murphy is a differential for Semenyo or both, and Pedro. I probably wouldn't go with... I mean, Murphy, we don't know he's guaranteed to start, so I would always just bench Murphy. He was such a good prospect at the beginning of the season at his price, but he's just not carried through with what we wanted it to be. Why Palmer captain? Yeah, let's talk about captaincy. So, Palmer versus Salah is so close. I'm not guaranteeing I don't change it by the deadline. There's so many positives and negatives that you could write just to make your agenda for whichever side of the situation you want to fall on. Part of me just thinks that Chelsea team are clicking so well at the moment. Fulham have been really good, but then they are without their 2 first choice centre backs. It's so tight. I don't feel strongly either way, and it just feels like it's going to swing one way or another. And I find it really, really difficult to call. Bruno and Visa to Isak and Semenyo. Bruno and Visa to Isak and Semenyo. I wouldn't go Semenyo. Like, Semenyo is just not a buy right now. Semenyo is just not a buy. Why is Saka not a popular captain? So the thing with Saka, with the captaincy, is he's likely to be low enough owned that if I captain Palmer, I'll still gain rank if Saka scores. Now, that's a kind of mentality thing, but I like to be able to cheer all my players on. Saka will probably be under 100% owned, whereas Palmer and Salah will almost certainly both be above it. So I just want to captain a player, which means I can cheer Saka on as well. Like, Saka might do really well, but at least I'll gain rank from his points. Semenyo for Enzo, Visa for Wood for a -4. I mean, I wouldn't do Semenyo to Enzo for free, no. For a hit, no. Delap or Rodgers? I'd just play Delap. That Wolves defence, I definitely would play Delap. Why Semenyo over Rodgers is he isn't a buy at the moment? Because I don't think Semenyo is great. Like, the fixtures are okay. His positioning has not been quite as good. His attacking output's not been quite as good. But I'm not going to bench him at home to West Ham. Rodgers is just better long term than Semenyo is, and I'd rather have him, and he's also cheaper. So this week specifically, I prefer Semenyo, but generally, Rodgers is a better buy. So is Enzo, so is Iwobi. Apparently late fitness test for Gabriel. Ideal. That's exactly what we need. Apparently, people are saying there's a late fitness test. Why wouldn't I buy Semenyo? You're considering buying Isak to bench Semenyo. I wouldn't buy Semenyo because his attacking output has been pretty abysmal for the past 10 weeks. Not 10 weeks, yeah. Look at this. It's been really, really bad. His data's been quite good, but his attacking output, he has dried up a little bit over the past couple. So I would, if you look at someone like Iwobi's fixtures, all of these cheaper mids are definitely better buys than Iwobi, than Semenyo at the moment. I just definitely would buy at the same price Iwobi for this run. Definitely. I'd buy Enzo. So yeah. I don't mind Semenyo. This is probably going to be his last week in my team. The chances are he won't be in my team by midnight tonight is the plan. Of course, if something was to happen to Isak during today's game, but yeah, the plan is that this will be the last. I'll have sold Semenyo by the time he plays, is the plan. Ahmad, I don't mind. Ahmad is okay. The only thing is, Ahmad is just his guarantee of minutes. Is the only thing. 45 there. There was the other week he didn't. Oh yeah, he didn't start against Arsenal, but he did come on. He's 5.1, so I can't personally afford it, but I don't mind Ahmad. The fixtures coming up for them are pretty nice as well. He is up there with Enzo. I think the fixture this week means a lot of people are buying Enzo over Ahmad, but yeah, if it was the fixtures were the other way around, then maybe people will be buying Ahmad because his returns have been pretty good. The run's pretty nice as well. It's pretty close actually. Am I making any transfers? I actually had a dream last night that Isak scored 4 goals, and I kid you not. I had a dream last night Isak scored 4, and the fourth one was a chip over the keeper from really close range. He went through edge of the 6-yard box. Keeper goes down, and Isak just dinked it over him. And that was as a non-owner. So that tells you where my headspace is with not owning Isak this week. But I did have a dream he scored 4. And I'm not buying him. More like a nightmare. Yeah, true. How many Gordon assists? I don't remember that much of it. I just know he scored 4. Harry, who do I support? I support Chelsea. The best 4.5 defender. If you need them every week, it's probably Colwill. If you want to rotate them, there are some other ones. There are some other good ones like Kirkes, he's 4.6. Howson at Bournemouth is 4.3. Then you have someone like a Yeah, like, sorry, who is it? Lewis Hall you could buy. There are a few options, but it's probably Colwell if you need them every week. Isaac haunting FPL creators in their dreams. Chances of switching to Salah, it feels pretty small. Hope the cold gets better. Thank you. Sorry. Why no Gusto in my lineup? I mean, I don't have money for a defender like that at the moment. I'm scrounging the pennies. And I'm not going to have money to buy an assistant manager when I need it. Out with Greaves, Mikalenko or Lewis. I'm going to be selling Lewis because I need the money next week. Can only afford one of Isak. Sorry, right. Is Bruno Fernandes a good long-term hold? I mean, yes. I mean, it will stop you doing other things. If Bruno Fernandes is above the likes of Trent and maybe Isak in your priority order, then yes. But I personally prefer the money elsewhere. Delap to Chris Woods. It doesn't feel like a transfer I'd make this week. Wolves are all over the place defensively. And, yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'd do that. Have I told my wife, my fiance, that I've dreamed about Isak? I haven't. She probably thinks I'm obsessed enough with this game, let alone dreaming about it. Gabriel to Trent. Own both. Start Rodgers and Burmo. Do not sell Gabriel to Trent. Nope. Own both. Start Rodgers or Mbermo. And Mbermo is above Rodgers in my benching. Burn, Hall or Livramento, best order and likely minutes. I'd buy Lewis Hall first because Botman's likely to be back. To be honest, I mean, there is a small chance that when Botman comes back, it's not good for Hall's minutes, but... Sell Watkins to Isak for a -4. I probably would do that, yeah. Any news on Watkins? No. Apparently Watkins was going to have was a late fitness test, and the chances are he might not make it, but yeah. Social buzz. I do apologise. Sanchez to Alisson, Hendo, or get Trent and Enzo Iwobi. I wouldn't sell Sanchez just yet. I do think there's a chance at some point we see Jorgensen in goal, but I don't think it will happen just yet. Would I swap Jackson with Isak with one free transfer? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go sideways. Bench, Gabriel, Hall or Aït-Nouri. Probably Lewis Hall. Would I start Rodgers or Evan Nielsen? Evan Nielsen as well. Advice on captain choice at 1.4 million. I don't think I'd let rank, especially that rank, dictate my captaincy. I would still captain who you think is likely to be the most highest scoring player. The ownership is likely to be very, very similar, I imagine. I don't know. I think I would still... I mean, you're a Liverpool fan, right? Alexander-Arnold. Maybe you'd go Salah. But... Best 3 Chelsea positions to fill. Palmer, Enzo, Jackson. Listen, I don't know if having triple up on the Chelsea attack is going to be a good idea for me, but I like what it allows. I like all 3 of them individually. Owning 3 of them at the same time, I don't love, but... What's the craze behind everyone choosing Enzo? I don't get it. Please someone explain. I mean, right, so let's have a look. Like, if you look at his data... 0.48 XGI, 0.92, 0.25, 1.08. He's having a slight change in role recently since he's come back into the team. Like, he wasn't starting games, and since he started, his data has been really, really good. It's also worth noting that people are saying without Lavia, will he not be as good? And he played that Leicester away game without Lavia. Lavia didn't play that game, I don't think. So... he was still really good in that one. The data, it is short term. It is short term, the improvement of data, but he's 5 million. Like, with these fixtures to go with it, all the way up until, like, with most of us planning on wildcarding in game week 30, you're kind of looking at this run. And all he's got City away, fine. He's got Villa away, and he's got Arsenal away. Outside of that, like, these fixtures are crazy good. So what's that? 23, 26, 29. And if you have a look at Rodgers, who most people are pairing him with, 23, 26, 29. 23, he's got West Ham at home. 26, they play against each other, and 29 is not great. But that is a long way away. Basically only 1 week where you've got a bad fixture, and that's game week 29. If you rotate the two. Is FPL your full-time job? It is. I'm very lucky to have that as my situation. Yes, it has been. I think I left... What's the date today? I've literally left my job. My last day of my job was almost a year ago to the day. It probably was this game week last year. It may have even been this game week last year. It probably is my 1-year anniversary of full-time FPL content creation. It probably is. You're looking forward to watching your captain live. I mean, there is a benefit to that. You also have a little bit of stress, and it might depend on what Salah's done. But yes, I will be at the Chelsea game on Sunday evening. Thank you. I literally just realised, I think this probably is it. People saying the website's crashed. It looks fine to me. It looks fine to me. We've just got just over an hour to go to the deadline. We have realised I haven't plugged once. There's 6,000 of you in and watching, but only 600 likes, which means 5,500 of you haven't liked the stream. If you could drop a like on the stream, let's get it up to 1,000 or more. That would be great. Welcome. Yeah, I'm very lucky. So I'm very appreciative of everyone and like your support on the channel. Yeah, it's crazy. And your support, those of you who are watching the podcast at the moment as well. That's a new thing for me this season. So, yeah, I appreciate it. And what I will do in like 10 minutes. But thank you. Still no Lewis to Arnold. It will happen. But as I say, there's literally no benefit to me making the transfer now to making it in like 45 minutes. Because we might get, let's say we get some random team news where Trent doesn't start, right? Then I buy Van Dijk. So there's literally, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's literally no benefit to me making a transfer now to making it in 45 minutes. Literally not a single benefit. So I will wait till close to the deadline. But the plan is, like, my team is fully set. All I have to do is Lewis to Trent, and I've got the bench order and everything set. It's fine. Would I do Fleck into Alisson for a hit done Isak? I mean, I probably would, because I think that's a transfer that it'll be one you never think is worth it. But you'll also you'll never think it's worth it, but you'll also want to do it every week. So start Ahmad or Rodgers. Rodgers. Oh yeah, Super Brew predictions for those of you who are in the podcast Super Brew Predictions League. I need to do that. You have one free transfer from Burmo to Gordon or for 2 weeks to target fixtures. Don't have Isak, and then downgrade Gordon to Trent after Tottenham fixture. I personally think that's too many transfers you're planning. I think I just plan to get Isak sooner and Trent sooner, but I would just go straight down to someone cheaper. Just think I'd go straight down. Sorry, Liverpool 3-1. Oh, I had a dream of Isak to score 4, so I've got to predict them to score 4. Desmond. United, the Manchester derby. I mean, what on earth are we all predicting in that game? What do you predict in the Manchester derby? Gomez or Hall? You have Trent. I'd play Hall. Best cheap defender for the next 3, Hall, Kirkes, Chelsea defender. If it's just for the next 2 or 3, then it's probably Hall, but generally Colwell's the best to buy. 2-1 United. 3-1 City. 1-1. Bench boost and differential captain. Son didn't work. Going with Saka this weekend and keeping your fingers crossed. Good luck. Visa versus Ahmad. I play Visa. I do still think we have issues defensively. Ryan, thank you for joining as a member. Welcome. The Jose move was clickbait and everyone just ran with it. Are we sleeping on a Stupinan? Can be very attacking. Yeah, he's not look bad. I just don't have the money for it. I just got more important things to do with the money. Is Gabriel starting? We don't know yet. Pau Torres or Lewis out for Colwill? Probably Pau Torres. My transfer plans are Lewis to Trent. Lewis to Trent is the plan. Is Trent starting? We don't know yet. We don't have anything on them yet. Evan Nilsson or Enzo. If you've got Evan Nilsson, definitely start him. Start Semenyo or Bowen. Bowen over Semenyo. Bruno Fernandes. I mean, I don't mind him. He's probably too expensive for me to want to buy. But if you've got him, you can keep him. Like, I would probably start him this week. City do look all over the place at the moment. But Flecken and Porro to Raya and Kirkesh for a -8. No, I wouldn't do that for a -8. I wouldn't do that for a -8. Get rid of Haaland. I probably would. Gusto or Konza. Probably Gusto at home. Best goalkeeper, Raya or Alisson, probably. Hi, Harry, love the channel. Visa and Burma, Lewis to Isak, Trent and Enzo for a hit. Yes, I would do that. All of those are upgrades. Sorry if I've seemed a bit distracted. Holly, if you don't know, is my fiance, was on a train, and the person on the train in front, there was a security alert for a man with a gun, apparently, and all the trains had stopped. She is now officially off the train and into her parents' car and safe and sound. So I can relax. I can breathe. And focus back on the stream. If you think, if you're watching and thinking, why is Harry distracted? Why is he looking at his phone all the time? Why is he not answering questions? That has been why the first hour of the stream has been a little bit different. But she is in her parents' car. It is all good. This was, going from London. But yes. Yeah, YouTube may well flag my video, I realise, actually. But yes, I won't say it again. If I still had Haaland, would... relax. I can relax. Best captain. I mean, it's Palmer or Salah. Like, there are some other good options this week, but yeah, Palmer's the one for me. I mean, it's Palmer or Salah. I don't think I'd move off those two. Bench Visa or Hall or Van Heck. I'd definitely bench Van Heck. Palace have looked good. I wouldn't bench an attacker, and I think Hall's better than Van Heck. Prioritise Trent or Isak. So I think Isak, this is an interesting question. I think Isak is a better... pick than Trent. But for a lot of us this week, Trent is a bigger upgrade on what we're playing than Isak. So, for example, if in my team, I could do Cunha to Isak. But I could also do Lewis to, like, Trent, for example. Lewis to Trent is a much bigger upgrade for my team than Cunha to Isak is. Anwar, thank you very much. We're just going to pop it in subscriber only mode for the final hour of the stream. As we do, you literally have to subscribe for 30, well, not even that, 1 second before you can start using the chat again. So please do make sure you're subscribed and like if you haven't already. Trent for a -4. I mean, I don't know who you're selling, but I don't love -4s. I don't love -4s. But if it's a big upgrade, like I don't like if it's a playing defender to Trent for a -4, then no. But if it's in my situation, like let's say I didn't have a transfer, I would do Lewis to Trent for a hit. So yes. Is Gabriel okay? We don't have any news on Gabriel yet. I will start looking in a minute because we're about an hour before the deadline. We're still 2.5 hours before kickoff, but we've got an hour and 15 before team news. So I would say Arsenal have made a decision. I would say Arsenal either are making a decision as we speak or have already made a decision. Yeah, apparently Vogel's just tweeted that there's a late fitness test. The issue is what I do if he doesn't play. Right, let me show you why it's confusing if he doesn't play. Because realistically, right, let me get this out. If he doesn't play, and I do another move, so let's say I do Greaves to Howson, right? What is this? How do I spell his name? Oh, Howson. And then in 17, not only is it then a hit to do the 2 transfers I want tonight, it's then an extra hit to sell Aït-Nouri because I need the money. So that's where it suddenly, as I spoke about, a -8. Like, I then have to buy Anderson, who I don't even know if he's going to be fit. Oh, it's because I'm sorry. Like, it suddenly puts me in a really, really difficult situation of what to do. And that's a -8 over the next. That's a -8 next week. And I just don't love that very much. So I might just chance it. Even if he doesn't sound like he's going to play, I'll just leave it as it is and just take the points off the bench. That's what I need to do. I need to get a little bit of like tape or something and tape where I need to split my screens. You don't think Trent and Isak is possible for a balanced team? Out of interest, I mean, this is what my plan is for my team to look like. Oh, JP96, apologies. Is Pedro and Mbermo for Isak and Adama worth it? I'm not sure I'd go Adama, but I mean, if Nelson's out a while, then maybe he plays, but Harry Wilson could also play. I don't think I'd do those. I'd probably just hold for now. Semenyo or Mitoma? I'd definitely start Mitoma over Semenyo. Like, this doesn't feel unbalanced, does it? Like, this feels okay. Raya, you know, double premium defense, rotating a cheap defender between 3 ways. Palmer, Salah, Saka, Isak, Jackson, rotate Rodgers, Pedro, Fernandes by 2 spots out of 3. It feels okay. Now, maybe it's okay because I've got team value to do some of the other picks, but I don't know. I quite like this. How are we doing, Harry? I'm all good now. You're a Liverpool fan and totally think it's Virgil time, really. Interesting. I'm fully on board with Trent, but I think it's just worth the money. But, like, if your team value isn't good enough to do this, this is just for next week. Like, this is just future plans. But you can afford it if you do Van Dijk in for Trent, then yeah, like just do it. I don't think Mbeumo is a rush to priority transfer out. That's what I said in my video yesterday. I just think that some of those, I just think like we need some money for our defenders. The fixtures coming up for Brentford are really not that great. He's not a priority sell at all, particularly given the next two are Chelsea and Forest, which are not bad fixtures, and they have a great record against Chelsea. Play 2 of Matoma, Semenyo and João Pedro. Worried if I play both Brighton to leave myself exposed. I would play both Brighton. If you don't want to play one, I'd probably bench Matoma, given that João Pedro is on pens. Semenyo or Bruno, I'd play Bruno over Semenyo despite the fixture. Start Rodgers or Kluivert, I'd play Kluivert. Again, he's on penalties. Right, I'm going to go... There's some stuff starting to be leaked on in the chat. If you see stuff, tag me in it. I've now got my phone up on stuff that people are tagging me in. So I'm very big on blocking accounts. This one, leaked lineups, big one that I've blocked. Not being reliable. Anfield Insights saying apparently Trent does start, which is good. I don't know how reliable they've always been though. I'm a big one because like I get tagged in stuff in Twitter the whole time. So what I basically do is I just block or mute people. So as soon as someone sends me something, I just know straight away if it's definitely reliable or whether it's reliable or not. And if they're not blocked, it doesn't mean they're reliable. It just means I haven't seen them being unreliable in the past. So I just have to make judgment calls. Focal has tweeted, I saw that. Apparently a late fitness test for Gabriel. That just screams definitely don't sell him, because if he's not back this week, he should be back next. And the fixtures are still good. Like, it's just a hold. Like, I'm just going to stick with Gabriel, I think. There's a chance I would sell Raya at some point if I needed money, but... Son out to get Trent this week. I mean, if you've held Son this long, I would probably want to keep him for Southampton away, but if it gets you better things elsewhere, I mean, there's no way Son's worth the money. If you talk to any Spurs fans, they are not a fan of the way Son is playing at the moment. I was listening to Planet FPL talk about Son, and he wonders if he will leave in the summer. He's also not good enough to be a captain as well. Anfield insights are reliable. The only thing is, there was 1 week where they had leaks for a couple of players, and what they did is they then predicted the rest of the lineup around those couple of players, and not all of the rest of the squad that they filled in was right. Like, I think it was the week that Robertson didn't start, and there were leaks of the front three and stuff, and basically they just did all the other stuff. Kudus overlooked. I mean, if you've got Kudus, I probably would start him this week. He's not a bad differential punt. Shall I start Rodgers or Mbeumo? Mbeumo over Rodgers. I can put my benching rankings about to come up on screen. On the top right. If you're doing benching rankings, they are up in the top right hand corner now. Top left is good, bottom right is bad. Will Enzo's price rise before the deadline? No. So price rises happen at about 1 a.m. It's actually 1:30 a.m. UK time every night. It changes when the clocks change, but at the moment it's 1:30 a.m. and he's predicted to rise tonight, but it won't happen until tonight. Someone's just... Is Isak for a -4 okay? I have Cunha, Pedro and Wood. I wouldn't do that, I don't think. I'd wait and do Cunha to Isak next week for free. Best defender, 4.4 and below for the near future. Howson at Bournemouth. You've got Lewis Hall. Are probably the top two if you need one this week. Probably the top if you need them this week. Which three to play? Gabriel, Gomez, Ryan Ignorian, Howson. I'd probably bench Gomez. Just the least other routes to points, I think. Oscar, Iwobi or Enzo already have Jackson and Palmer. I mean, if you need to play them this week, or Enzo's much better, but I prefer Iwobi long term over. Enzo if you have the money for it. What keeper would I have on wildcard? Either Raya or Allison, probably. There's a chance I might end up going Allison. Am I not doing Trent? I will be doing Trent. I do plan on doing Trent. Something new with Gabriel? Nothing yet. Start Delap or Rodgers? Again, if you've got Delap and you've held him this long, I would definitely be starting him. Just having a look for anything. I really just hope Gabriel starts. Just don't. To be honest, what I don't want is Gabriel to be ruled out before the deadline. Because if Gabriel's ruled out, then it kind of forces my hand into doing something. Why would I keep Rico when he drops in price? Because the site that I used didn't predict him to drop in price. I would have done it. Can everyone ask with me if he should still captain Palmer with triple Chelsea? Next week, I'm not captaining Palmer. I'm going back to Salah cap. In game week 17 is definitely Salah captain. Chelsea away at Everton or Liverpool away at that Spurs team, 100% that is a Salah captain. Yeah, as a subscribe to something says with his super chat, if you want Gabriel to start, you have to subscribe to the channel and like the stream, is what he said. Crizzy, Foden and Lewis -4 to Trent and a 6.8 below. So Enzo, Johnson, maybe someone else. I'd probably go cheap and take the money. And yes, I would do that for a hit. I'd get rid of Foden and Lewis. Yes. Bench Gvardiol, Rodgers or Enzo or hit for a Trent. If you have to bench one, I'd just always bench the defender in Gvardiol probably. So yeah, this is definitely a Salah captain. Yeah. I have no doubt about that. My planned transfers this week is probably just Lewis to Trent, unless there's news on Gabriel. But I do wonder if I roll anyway if I don't hear anything on Gabriel. I just hope they don't tweet anything negative. Visa or Rodgers start? Probably Visa. Forest are a very good side defensively. Start Kluivert or Rodgers. Kluivert at home on Pens Monday night. Yeah. I always fiddle with stuff while I stream, but I was fiddling with something which had like a pin in it, and I accidentally jabbed my hand about 10 minutes ago. So I'm okay, but I've moved that off my desk and I'm fiddling with these little like chips that you could get, which have your rank on it, and you get it depending on what ranks you have. Anyway, who would I sell? Would I sell some players? No. Enzo, Semenyo or Wood to start? I'd bench Semenyo. Am I going to do Lewis to Trent? Yes. I believe so. But as I say, there's literally nothing, no reason I should do the transfer now versus 15 minutes before the deadline. Do I have ADHD? Honestly, I get asked this every week on stream, or something, ADHD or like something else. And I don't know. I think it's worse when I'm on streams. I'm not like this in real life, but there's just so much going on and so many messages that I think it just makes it worse. And I get distracted by stuff all the time. Palmer is my captain. I mean, am I going to move it? Probably unlikely. Will I regret it? Quite possibly, but I think I'm going to be on captaincy. If you think Salah is the best captain, please do captain Salah. It's not that I think he's a bad captaincy at all. Would I take out Watkins for Isak? Yes, I would. Dalot to Timber for a hit. Yes, I would also do that, probably. If you're going to start them. You do get distracted. You start answering one question and then start answering someone else and just don't go back to it. Yeah, it's true. And I do freeze when I'm looking at chat as well. Maybe I should go and get myself diagnosed with something. They could just look at my streams. Like, they wouldn't need to go in and, like, do tests and stuff. They could just be like, go and watch my deadline stream for an hour and let me know what you think. I don't know. People say it in the chat all the time. I think we're all right. But start Semenyo or Bowen. Bowen over Semenyo. I know what KSI super chat to Andy about Gabriel, but I don't think he has any information. I think he's just on the wind up. Is the stream offline? Well, I'd hope not. I think you need to refresh it. Not that they're going to see this. Mark, thank you for joining as a base tier member. I appreciate it. Ahmad or Rogers? This week, Rogers. Johnson and Greaves to Trent and Enzo. Yeah, for free. Yes, I would do that. Yeah. The annoying thing is I'm going to have to bring in Enzo tonight if I do the transfers before he plays tomorrow night. That's the only bit of concern, but... we then play European fixtures on Thursday, but he probably won't play. Anything else being tagged in? I don't think you freeze. You just feel... I'm in focus and I'm just motionless when I'm reading stuff. I should just constantly be moving around. Watkins to Isak for a hit. I mean, it doesn't feel great if Watkins does end up playing, but you'll probably be glad you've done it at some point, so yes. Team leaks have been so poor? Absolutely. The amount of leaks we've had are much, much less. Accounts are really cutting back on it. We basically used to get leaks every week for whoever was the early game, and if City played that day, we'd get City. Like, so much last year, we just don't have it to the same level. Visa or Ahmad? I'd probably play Visa. We have 40 minutes to go till the deadline. Still plenty of time to hopefully hear something on Gabriel. Hopefully. Yeah, and then the plan is Semenyo to Enzo Fernandez and Cunha up to Isak with 2 free transfers. Enzo or Ahmad long term? It's really close. If you're going Palmer, Jackson, maybe Ahmad is better. I can't actually afford it anymore, so I have to go Enzo, I think. But I don't mind the Ahmad pick. Don't mind Ahmad at all. Thoughts on Alisson this week? Yeah, I quite like Alisson. He's right up there with David Raya. Raya's probably better for the next two, but long term you might be better with Alisson. Alisson's probably slightly better for bonus and for saves and stuff like that. What do I think about Sancho? I just wouldn't buy Chelsea players who are not definitely first choice, and we don't know if Sancho is. We don't know if Madueke is. We don't know about a lot of them. So why not keep Lewis? Just because I need the money, and they're all over the place defensively. So. Yeah. If I could do Greaves to Trent and still do the Semenyo Cunha moves next week, I would. But I need the money. Like, I have exact money to do it from selling Lewis. If I have Mbermo, would I start him over Semenyo? Yes, probably. Why am I against Ahmad this week? He gets assists and they play this extra hard against City. I mean, I'm not against it, but if you were on free hit this week, you wouldn't have Ahmad in it. You wouldn't have any United players in a free hit this week. It's probably where I'm at. So it's just why he's slightly lower down the ranking this week. And that's why someone like a Iwobi is lower down and someone like a Rodgers or a Enzo is probably higher. But from next week, so Trent is playing. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Bowen to Enzo. Lewis to Trent. I mean, I like those moves. 8 Nori to Trent. Already and Gabriel and Timber. I mean, probably. It doesn't feel like that much of an upgrade this week, but yes. Who to bench? Van Heck or Housen? I'd bench Van Heck. I'd play Housen. Which two to start of Mbermo, Semenyo and Kulusevski? Interesting. I'd probably be looking to bench Semenyo. Given that Kulusevski should start against Southampton, I'd probably bench Semenyo. Gabriel news, we have nothing as of yet. Apparently he's having a late fitness test is what we know at the moment. So we'll wait and see. Captain on Jackson instead of Palmer. Ahmad in for Semenyo, or is it too risky? It feels like taking risks for the sake of it with those personally, but yeah. Why not Semenyo to Enzo this week? Because I just like Semenyo as well as Enzo. I just like Semenyo as well. Yeah. Like, I want to give Semenyo an extra game. Monday night fixture. Yeah. Raya, Dean, Dallo, Van den Berg, Gusto, Fernandez, Palmer, Saka, Matoma, I mean, you've got Haaland, so it kind of depends if you want to sell Haaland. And then I'd probably bench Rodgers. Bench Rodgers in the defence kind of picks itself. You don't play Dallo and you don't play Van den Berg. You might want to do a defensive transfer, get an Arsenal defender in, or a Liverpool defender or something like that. It's quite confusing. 2-3 transfers. I don't know how much money you have, but yeah. I mean, I would be selling Haaland if it was me, but I do Haaland to Isak and like Van den Berg to Trent or something like that. 8 Nori or Lewis Hall. 8 Nori. If you're looking for like a Van den Berg replacement, you're looking for a Greaves replacement, from next week, if Anderson of Fulham is back, he's only 4.2, and he's just going to be a nice, reliable option to have third on the bench most weeks, I think. That's my plan. Start Kirkez or Hall. I think I'd go Kirkez or Hall. I'd play Kirkez. Matoma or Kluivert to start or bench. Play Matoma. Those of you asking about benching rankings Benching rankings will be in the top right hand corner in about 30 seconds. So if you are looking to know who to start or who to stop, have a look at the stream in about 30 seconds. What do I think about Gomez until Konate is back? Yeah, I don't mind it, but it is just forcing you into a transfer when maybe we won't have the luxury of one. So yeah, I don't mind the Gomez pick. I don't mind it. Trent and Ahmad or Virgil van Dijk and Iwobi from next week. Probably Ahmad. If Gabriel starts, should I buy Trent and bench Aït-Nouri or roll? I mean, Trent's probably better than Aït-Nouri, but it's really close. So I'd probably err on the side of just rolling. Saka crazy underrated as captain. Yeah, you're probably right. He is definitely one of the best. He's third in my ranking. But again, as I said earlier, part of playing FPL is a little bit of the mental game. And if I captain Palmer, Saka's ownership is still going to be below 100%, whereas Palmer and Salah will both be over 100%. So if I captain Saka, I want two players in Palmer and Salah to blank. But if I captain Palmer, at least I can still cheer on Saka, and like there is part of that in my mind. Everton have been okay defensively, apart from when they capitulated against Man United a few weeks ago. It's really close. If you fancy Saka, go for it, but he also feels the one that's slightly less reliable at the moment. Vandenberg or Greaves first on the bench? Probably Greaves. You're getting Trent for attacking returns. No guarantee they keep a clean sheet against Fulham. His attacking returns are normally for Salah, therefore captain Salah. I mean, I'm getting Trent for the long term, not necessarily just for this week though. I'm getting it for what Liverpool have coming up. Like the Liverpool fixtures. I'm just happy to have Trent for this run. Is more why I'm doing it rather than just this week. Chelsea fan cheering Saka. I mean, you're not wrong. It's weird because I'm now in a position where I've got to think that Chelsea... Because the teams that, as a Chelsea fan, I used to care about from a Chelsea position in the table point of view were different last year than they are this year. Because last year, it would more be like... I mean, I do care about the others, but it was more like Villa, it was more like Newcastle, it was more like Brighton, it was Manchester United. Like, it was that, like, fifth, like Spurs, like 5th to 10th there. But now maybe I need to change my mindset that I do need to care what Liverpool, Arsenal and City are doing every week. Was I off to Winter Wonderland last week? I was meant to be, but it got weathered off. It got weathered off. Oh, we've got sun here in London. It's crazy. This time last week, it was definitely not shining. It was blowing a gale. I mean, realistically, they will have made their mind up on Gabriel now. Team sheet is in 45 minutes. Son, the game kicks off in 2 hours. Realistically, they know if Gabriel is playing or not. Someone out there knows. Overpriced and overrated. Who? Me? Or Trent? Or someone else? Writing overpriced and overrated in the stream without context of who you're talking about. Am I overpriced and overrated? I'm not sure I'm overpriced because the stream's free. But maybe overrated. I've already had 2 Chelsea attackers. Why not captain Salah? Because I'm going to have double Liverpool. I'm going to have double Liverpool because I'm going to buy Trent. So I've still got double and double. Oh, they're talking about Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland is not it's overpriced, but it's not overrated. It's not overrated. I refuse. Winter Wonderland is the best day out all year. I love Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland is my happy place. Yeah. Yeah, I know. KSI donated 500 quid to Winter Wonderland. It is very overpriced, but I quite like it. It's like a big Christmas market sort of thing in London. I like markets generally in my life. Like if I walk down the street and there's like markets, I will definitely go and have a look. I don't buy anything ever, but I just like the vibe of markets and like people selling stuff. I'm going to Scotland next week, and I'm looking to go to some of their Christmas markets, which are meant to be quite nice. No news as of yet. 28 minutes to go to the deadline. 45 minutes. The markets don't like me. Well, yeah, maybe. Transfer market, big fan, especially as a Chelsea fan. What's my plan if Gabriel's ruled out? I might just chance it. I just really hope he's not ruled out before the deadline. I just really hope we don't get he's ruled out before the deadline. Because I just don't want to have to make another defensive transfer. If you see stuff on Twitter and you want to send it in the chat, please just tag me in it. It's the easiest way for me to see it. Just at me at the bottom of it and I will see, and I can then decide for myself if it's reliable or not. There will be lots over the next half an hour. Majority of it will be making stuff up. But yeah, there's nothing yet. Nothing that I've seen yet anyway. I'm actually not going to the Chelsea game next Thursday because I'm not in London. I leave for Christmas generally on Monday evening, and I won't be back in London until January. All my stuff will be going with me though, so don't worry. Social buzz, I do apologise. Hendo, Enzo and Trent this game week 17, Isak and Anderson in. Hendo, I imagine you're meaning the goalkeeper. If it helps you with the money, yes. Henderson is not a priority for the next couple of weeks though. They have nice fixtures at some point, but the next three are not great. They have looked improved though, Palace. I've never seen that Arsenal account before. Feels like they're making it up. I've never seen it, so I'm not gonna share that at all. Feels like a chance. So I don't know if they've had it right before anyway. Don't know. To be honest, even if we hear negative news on Gabriel, I might just chance it. I just don't want to be taking the hit next week. Didn't I say I'd perma-captain Salah after he hauled against Newcastle? Yes, I did. And then Palmer scored two penalties last weekend, and play Bowen or Semenyo. Play Bowen. Start Ahmad or Hall. Probably the attacker. Probably Ahmad. But that's pretty close, actually. Normally, I'd always favour the attacker, but Ahmad versus Hall is pretty close. I probably would just about favour the attacker. All right. So that account that someone said, yeah, the same account has said two things. So let's wait and see. Apparently this Arsenal account has said that Gabriel is on the bus, but it doesn't necessarily mean he plays. I'll keep an eye out for anything more. I'll keep an eye out. Could really just do with him. Playing. Kwanzaa or Fass first bench. I mean, I'd put Kwanzaa. I'd be surprised if he gets a start though. My Twitter has frozen. Why bring in Howson? Bournemouth have one clean sheet. Mikalenko does a better job. I mean, because Mikalenko has Arsenal away this week. It's based on the fixture. I'm going to keep Gabriel. It's just if I do Greaves to someone else to cover the bench, but I don't think I will. Posts aren't loading right now. Thank you, Twitter. Just what we need. Just what we need. Would I do Isak to Solanke for a hit? Isak out to Solanke? I wouldn't be selling Isak for free. No. We'll have a look at Fantasy Challenge after the deadline. Hi guys, are there any mods in the chat today? There's going to be a lot of stuff in the chat that is unreliable news. I will share anything reliable that I see once we get it, but yeah. Both timed them out at the same time. No worries, Jen. I don't see anything on Twitter yet on Gabriel. Right, back to some questions. Why Palmer over Salah cap? Again, it's so close. I don't feel comfortable either way. On it. Chelsea just right up there for XG this season. I mean, Fulham don't have their two centre-backs though, but I think it's really close. Isaac for Solanke or Virgil for Lewis? Probably Virgil for Lewis this week, because Solanke does have Spurs. Salah against a mid-block with Trent behind him is scary. Yeah, I mean, at least I'm going to have Trent, but... Captaining Isak, he's my 5th choice this week. I don't hate it, but I'm not sure I'd be doing it. Gvardiol to Timber. I mean, yes, probably. Alisson or Raya. Probably Raya at the moment, but it's really close. Probably just about Raya. Adrian's about to lock in his team without being... I think he's been out for lunchtime drinks, hasn't he? Should I buy Isak from -4, sacrificing Gabriel and Johnson? No. Sacrificing Gabriel and Johnson? No. Gabriel is not a sell. Right, someone answer me this, right? Arsenal accounts are tweeting that Gabriel is like on the bus. But why is he on a bus? Where are they going? They're playing at home. And surely the fitness test happens at the stadium. Where are they getting the bus from? And where are they going? Well, of course they're going to the stadium, but where have they been this morning? Because if they were in the hotel this morning, where has he done the fitness test? So he's done the fitness test in the hotel. What? Just like in the lobby? Just Gabriel there having his hamstring tested. Just like while people are checking into the hotel, Gabriel's there just like stretching out. Like, where is he going? The bus from the training ground? Right, but why have they been in the training ground this morning? Fitness test in the stadium, and then they just get a bus around? Like, where is this bus going from? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, where is this bus? Because I understand if they're going from the hotel, like, the logical thing is the hotel to the stadium. People saying the hotel gym. Maybe it's the hotel gym. He's just in there. Like, just people on the running machine, and there's just Gabriel. Just don't mind me. I'm just doing, my stretches. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know how reliable Regret FPL really is, if I'm honest. But there is a lot going on about Gabriel being on a bus. But where is he going from the bus? Where is this bus going? I appreciate 10,000 of you tuning in to listen to me talk about the Arsenal bus, but thank you very much for joining. Gabriel's driving. The bus is taking him back. They're all at the hotel. He's taking him home. Yeah, we'll see. It does sound positive on Gabriel, though. I might be waiting for a long time, but maybe it's a public bus. He's on the road to nowhere. Right. Forster or Fabianski? Probably Forster. More likely to keep a clean sheet, I'd say, this week. I expect Bournemouth to score. Shout out to Leo from Norwich on my way to Milton Keynes game. Hello, Leo from Norwich. 15 minutes to go to the deadline. Yeah, who's driving the bus? I think someone needs to raise an alarm that Gabriel has got on a bus that he's not meant to be on. Because the whole Arsenal squad is at the Arsenal stadium already, and Gabriel is on a bus going somewhere else. If someone could get a hold of that, would be appreciated. Because I don't think he's meant to be on it. Should I upgrade from Fabianski to Raya? I'd be more inclined to do your second keeper to Fabianski, second keeper to Raya, not Fabianski. Oh, DT Trader, I apologise. I didn't ignore it. Trent for Van Heck for -4 or wait. I mean, I'd probably just do it because next week you probably want Trent in as well. Start Ryan, ignore your Porro. Probably Porro. Buy Semenyo or Kluivert. I wouldn't buy a Bournemouth midfielder now. I don't love what I'm seeing from them. Does sound positive on Gabriel. It does sound positive. People are tagging me in loads that he's been seen with the squad. Fogel's just tweeted that he's been seen with the squad. So, I mean, I can get it up on screen. This is not concrete news before I get it up. It's not anything concrete. But I'll just use Oscar as apparently there was a late fitness test and apparently he's been seen with the squad. Doesn't guarantee anything. But does sound positive. Thank you to everyone who's tagging me and stuff on Twitter. I appreciate it. Tommy Pickles, Delap to ease out for free. Yes. Lewis and Gavardio for Hall and Trent for a hit. Yeah, I probably would do that this week. I imagine you need to do both to free up the money anyway. Right. I mean, we don't have anything on Liverpool, which is kind of what I need. Play Kirkes or Aït-Nouri. So it's all going to be my benching ranking, which I'll put up in the top right-hand corner. Right. I've got 14 minutes to go to the deadline, so I should probably do something about my team. Do 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 do. Any news on Watkins? No, nothing on Watkins. They're too late. If they were the earlier game, we might have got something on Watkins, but because they're 5:30. Any bus news? No. And next up, before we get to the end of the stream, I need you to tell me the last time you saw a pigeon as well. Would I do a -4 for Gvardiol to any Arsenal centre-back? I mean, we don't have guaranteed that Gabriel starts, so I probably wouldn't do it for a hit, no. Rodgers for Jackson. Yes, I'd start Jackson over Rodgers. Pat. Bench 1, João Pedro, Enzo, Semenyo. Semenyo. Should I have -4 for Gabriel cover? Definitely not. Definitely not. Please don't sing. That's not very nice. Anderson of Fulham is ruled out this week. He might be back next weekend, but... see him every day. Good. Thoughts on Gomez? He's fine as a short-term pick, but he will be an issue at some point when Konate comes back. Is Olorina worth a try? I wouldn't buy him, but if you've got him, I would play him. I'd play him probably if you've got him. I mean, it depends who you've got. Depends who you've got. Fabianski or Pickford? Fabianski or Pickford? Probably Fabianski based on the fixture. Henderson or Fabianski? Fabianski over Henderson. Would I start FPL Yellow Army? Hello. Would I start Lewis Hall or Porro? I'd probably go Porro. If you believe the rumours that Porro might not start, then just go Lewis Hall. I don't think there's that much in it, but team news is 15 minutes after deadline, so in just under half an hour. I should probably make my transfers, right? One final check of Twitter, and then we'll get stuff confirmed, and then we'll do 10 minutes of quick fire stuff. Who am I captaining? It's on Palmer at the moment. Right. Your only route to Isak next week is Lewis to Robertson this week. Is it good? I wouldn't go Robertson because Tsimikas is not that far away, to be honest. I wouldn't go. I'm not sure I'd go Robertson. I'd try and find another way to get a Liverpool defender. I mean, Robertson could pay off in the short term until Tsimikas is back, but I don't think I'd be buying Robertson. Right, refresh this. Check my team. So that is... Ooh. Yep, that is how it should be. That is how it should be. Mage, sorry. Thank you all very much for all the super chats, but I'm struggling to do... As we get close to the deadline, I run your risk of not being able to answer it in time. So please, if you could, not send any more. I'm greatly appreciative of the ones that have been sent, though, but I don't want you to send them in and not get them answered. Bowen, Sanchez and Lewis out for Enzo, Verbruggen and Trent. Yeah, I mean, Sanchez to Verbruggen I don't love for a hit, but I imagine you need the money for it. Cunha, Gvardiol and Burmo to Isak, Trent and Ahmad for free. Yeah, I probably would do that for free, yes. Right, transfer. Lewis out. Remove. Trent Alexander-Arnold in. One free transfer will leave me one more transfer. Make transfer. Lewis to Trent. I'm out. Boom. Someone saying the FPL site is running slowly, so please go and check your teams. Please go and check all of your teams. Looks pretty nice this week, no? Team looks good, so I look forward to seeing how FPL goes horribly wrong this weekend, right? That tends to be how it works. Bench boost with Enzo, Colwill, Kirkos, Fabianski. I mean, it's not a bad bench boost. You probably get some decent points from it. So you could do it. I probably would wait, but I don't hate that bench this week at all. How on earth am I getting to Isak now? The plan is next week to do... I have exact money for Semenyo to Enzo Fernandez, I believe, and Isak in for Cunha. Is the plan next week. Exact money in the bank to do that. And I might have to do it tonight. For free is the plan. Is Pedro Porro fit? Yes, there are slight rumours of that he's not guaranteed to start, but I think he will. They can't afford to drop points, right? Am I sure about Palmer captaincy? No, I'm not sure, but it's gonna be is what it's on now. Gabriel news is we are expecting him to be okay. Apparently he's been pictured with the squad. Doesn't mean he definitely starts, but it's enough for me to risk it. Dunk or Rodgers, always the attacker in that situation. Rodgers, 2 free transfers. Johnson to Enzo and Lewis to Virgil. If you need a defender, yes, I probably would do that. Although selling Johnson before Southampton doesn't feel ideal. Delap or Rodgers? Delap, probably. Delap. Delap over Rodgers. Benching ranking will be up in the top right-hand corner in just a moment for anyone looking to do that. For anyone looking for it. Bruno Fernandes or Evan Nilsson? Probably Bruno. It's really close that though, because I've got Bruno above Semenyo, but I don't know if I'd have Bruno above Evan Nilsson, just because of course he's playing up front. But is Isak and Virgil better than no Isak and Trent? If Virgil gets you Isak, then do Virgil over Trent. Starting Burma or Rodgers? Rodgers. Let me put my Captaincy ranking again up. I'll put it up for a bit longer, because that's the one that people care about now. I'll put it up in the top right. Yeah, Alex, you were right about Frokel. You were right. First bench, Visa or Rodgers? I'd have Visa above Rodgers, probably. Does Timber start? We don't know. He should do. I don't really see any reason why he shouldn't, given he was in the squad midweek. So Rodgers or Ahmad? Probably Rodgers over Ahmad. Raul or Enzo? Probably Enzo this week, but Raul's a nice pick from next week. I like him a lot. People who can't get to, like João Pedro, Isak, Jackson, I think a lot of people will start having a look at going back to Raul Jimenez. Ryan, let me have a look for it. Palmer, triple captain with Chelsea, 3 Chelsea or Salah. I mean, if you've only got Salah and you've got triple Chelsea, then maybe that would put me inclined to do Salah cap. But I've got double Chelsea, double Liverpool, so it's pretty close. There's always goals in Fulham. I mean, it's true, but Liverpool, Fulham, I haven't looked at it exactly. How long have we got? 4 minutes to go until the deadline. Jackson and Mbermo to Enzo and Isak. Only route to Trent. Jackson and Mbermo to Enzo and Isak. I mean, I don't think you need to do Jackson to Isak this week. I don't think you need to do it. Loads of people firing random bits of team news in the chat. As always, if you see them on Twitter and you want me to see them, then please do tag me. But without that, I cannot rely on anything. Apparently the Liverpool lineup is out. Trent is in it. Apparently Robertson, Van Dijk, everyone. It's apparently Jota's not back for it, but I mean, apparently these guys were the ones that got one position wrong the other week. So I'm not fully relying on it, but I will share it with you. Used with a pinch of salt, of course. Start Rodgers or Iwobi. Rodgers this week. Thank you for tagging me in it, by the way. This is apparently what we're looking at. Salah is there. I did get slightly spooked that Salah was not there. Like, why are these two the other way around? But, yeah. Is Gomez still a must-buy? No. No. The closer we get to... the closer we get to Konate being back makes Gomez a worse and a worse buy. I've got like 1.3 in the bank, I think. If you can't afford Trent, just go Van Dijk, yeah. Just a thank you, I appreciate it. Kluivert for Enzo for free before the deadline. I don't think so. Don't think I'd do that for free. Enzo or Semenyo. If I had both, I'd play... if I had both, I'd play Enzo over Semenyo, but it's really close. I'm not making the transfer on it. It's not worth a transfer, I don't think. We're into the final minute before the deadline. I have no idea where you are seeing anything on. Wait, what? Talking Wolves. Talking Wolves says there's a chance Cunha's benched. Oh no. That would be a -4. Oh, the website's crashing. Oh, it's not them, it's fake. It's Boona. No, a minute before the deadline. Ah, right. Fake account. God, you all tagged me in it. Got me. Right. We're into the final minute of the deadline. The counter is there. Please go and check your teams. We are locked in my team. Honestly, it gets me every time. This is my team for the deadline. Please. I literally was going to take a -4. Honestly, that is going to be the final minute going into the deadline. Honestly, he might have to get blocked for that. That might be the final week of it. Check your teams, lock it in. The deadline is about to pass. Go and check everything. Thank you all very much for joining. If you're going to head off now, please do subscribe before you go. Please do like again. Thank you very much for choosing me to tune in on a Saturday lunchtime. Have a lovely weekend. I hope you get green arrows, and we will be sticking around. We'll be waiting for team news. There's lots of team news in 15 minutes. We'll be doing that. We will be doing Fantasy Challenge in just a moment as well. Boona is going to have to get bent. Boona is getting blocked. That's one too many. That is one too many from you, Mr. Boona. That is one too many. That is one too many. He's on the block list. I just didn't expect him to do Wolves. Right, let me tweak my team. Right. So, game week 16 team lock. And Burmo plus Lewis out. Who did we bring in? Rodgers plus Trent in. Palmer captain. My defender on the bench, Greaves, isn't playing. Probably not, but hopefully I don't need him. What's happened if Gabriel doesn't play? Then I just get Greaves, and if not, Mikalenko. Cunha should be fine. It's a fake account. I mean, if you did Cunha to Isak, it's probably a good transfer anyway. Love Actually is a Christmas movie. Yeah, it was Boona. Boona has officially joined the block list. Oh, gosh. Officially on the block list. I mean, to be honest, I'd rather Isak than Cunha this week. It just wasn't worth a hit. Do I still plan on going Isak tonight? Yes, I do. Am I doing Fancy Challenge? Yeah, let's do Fancy Challenge. Yeah, I've just had Boona on mute, but I didn't see that I'd had that account on mute. And I just didn't expect it to be Wolves. Bargains. Players costing under 6 mil cost double. Thank you. Oh, we get a full squad. All right. Cool. So, Raya costs that much. I know exactly where I'm going here. I'm going Andy Robertson. Where is he? Timber. Yeah, Duncan, thank you for checking. All is okay. Robertson. Who else do we like in defence? Ain't Noreen, leave Davies, Kukurea. Might go Lewis Hall, you know. I have done a video about Mystery Chip. I mean, I might go Porro. I can always change him if he doesn't play. Porro, maybe. Yeah. Midfielders. Kluivert's quite nice. Enzo. Delap. Definitely having Delap. And I mean, if Duran starts, he's probably the one, isn't he? He's probably the one. Right. I could go Strand Larson. Ruta, Semenyo. Let's go Enzo. I'm just picking all the cheap ones. It's fun like that. Double points. Rogers. I mean, I've benched him. I could take Rogers. Ahmad. Which cheap mids? It's really boring, but I mean, I could go another defender. I could play a 4-3-3 here. And go like Kirkes. I'm going to captain Andy Robertson. No, I'm not. I'm going to captain Strand Larson. Go on the Larson. Lewis Hall, another one. Schmodix, all of these, yeah. 4-4-2 is good. I don't know. I prefer the forwards to the mids. I don't really like that much, but How is everyone? We can all chill a little bit. Thanks for a great stream. I appreciate it. Apologies for a momentary panic on... Apparently, Chiesa and Jota are both back in the squad for Liverpool. 8 minutes until team news. I live in London. Enzo up tonight. Time for transfers. Yeah, I may well pull the trigger tonight and do Enzo in for Semenyo and Cunha to Isak. Is the plan to do it tonight? The weather is getting better. It's clear. It's cold though. Chiesa is Salah, Mins down. I don't really think so, but I don't see him getting any minutes. How long before you realise there's no buses? That's a good question. I get the bus quite a lot. Like, I would say I get on a bus every week. So I would notice within a week that there were no buses. The league code, all the codes you need is in the description if you need codes. I'd noticed that buses were gone long before I noticed pigeons were gone. Yeah, if you need any of the league codes, they're all in the top of the description. If you want... Apologies. How about trains? Again, I get trains all the time. So, yeah, I'd notice very quickly on that sort of stuff. Time to relax. Time to relax. What's my job? Luckily, very fortunately, this is my job. Yeah, we've had this debate. When would I notice there's no pigeons? It would take me over a week, I imagine. A few weeks. Watch Gabriel and Cunha both be on the bench. Imagine if Cunha's actually benched. Yeah, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Have I ever been to India? I have. This is where... Oh, by the way, I'll turn slow mode down. This is where we stay. And for anyone who's new to this, we just answer random questions. We normally do random discussion at this point. So feel free to ask whatever you'd like. Apparently, Team News and Ticks has said that Gabriel starts. He hasn't tweeted anything. I haven't seen it. Have I been to America? I have. I haven't been to loads of it, though. I haven't been to loads of it. But... well, apparently Gabriel does start. Team News in 4 minutes, but it's looking positive on Gabriel. Do I collect Pokemon cards? So a really sad story. I used to collect them when I was younger. I'll report it on Patreon. I used I used to collect Pokemon cards when I was younger, and I accidentally put them in the wash. And I wonder what that pack of Pokemon cards would be worth now. I used to have all the good ones. Well, probably not all the good ones, but they seemed good to me. Feel like they'd be worth a lot now, but maybe not. It looks good on Gabriel. Looks good on Gabriel. Aside from FPL and football, which other sports do I like? To watch, rugby. Big rugby fan. Cricket. Rugby, cricket, tennis, football. Occasional bit of golf, but probably rugby, football, cricket. Do I play any other fantasy games? No. Your favourite Pokemon? I don't... probably like Charmander. I don't know. Machamp. I used to like my Machamp card. That was my prize card when I was younger. I used to play it at school. How did I become a Chelsea fan? It was the first game I ever got taken to when I was young. I was like 4 or 5. And there's a picture of me and my brother going wrapped in our winter coats to the Chelsea game. Harry is built like a Machamp. I mean, I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but... Favourite Pokemon game? You see, I had a Game Boy once, and I found the green, blue, and red Game Boy games on the carousel at an airport, and I used to play them, and I can't remember which of them it was. I think it was red. Do I play video games? I play EAFC, yes. My favourite tennis player is a player called, his name is Tsonga? French. He used to be my favourite tennis player because I went once to watch them. And yeah, or I remember watching Pat Cash, but I don't know if any of these people are. Joe Wilfred Tsonga, yeah, him. Big fan. He was my favourite. I never really won anything, but my Weekend League record, I'm awful at FIFA. Well, I'm not bad at FIFA, but I just hate Weekend League. I hate Weekend League. It's like 15 games now. I mean, I aim for like 7 or 8. Like, I aim to go even on it. I got scammed out of a win last night. I got scammed in a win. Like, I won, my opponent quit, and my game crashed, and I got a did not finish loss. So I wasn't very happy with that. My experience in India was lovely. I went to Delhi, and around there I had some family. We had some of our friends as a family who moved there. Right, let me get all the team news. Gabriel starts. As does Isaac. I'm going to get it all up. As does Cunha. Yes. Right. I'm going to find as much team news as possible. We'll get it up on screen in just a moment. Right. Come to Mumbai. I support, when I watch the IPL, Mumbai is my team. Well, it used to be. So we've got Salah starting. We kind of knew that lineup. Trent is all in. We've got theirs as well. Favourite footballer of all time, probably Eden Hazard. I've never been to Australia. Newcastle, we've got. Anyone else you need? Any team news you need? We will go through, but it looks like it's pretty full strength for everyone. We've got Arsenal. Gabriel does start. Why? Like, I don't really understand. People are putting fake team news in the chat now that we've got the team sheets. Ipswich. Oh, Greaves isn't in it, is he? I mean, I don't actually need him now, but it's time to go. Yeah, Greaves doesn't even make it onto the bench again. It's a good thing Gabriel is playing. It's a good thing Gabriel is playing. Strand Larsen does start. Yes. Gomez also starts. Yes. I mean, let's just hope Gabriel plays a full game. Yeah, that is true. Anything else you need? Who would I replace Greaves with? It's going to be very, very popular to go to Anderson of Fulham. He's only 4.2. I think Twitter's down. Nothing's loading. Anything more? Anyone need any more? Who's rising in price? Yeah, we've got Newcastle. Gordon does start. Dubravka back in goal. Lewis Hall, Livramento, Trippier only makes the bench. Someone in the chat still was asking about Murphy. He does start. Fulham we haven't done. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, they've got B and C choice centre-backs, so yeah. Smith Rowe benched. They did this last time. They played... I mean, that's completely frozen now as well. They did this last time. They played... I think it was when they played City. They benched Smith Rowe to go for like a more solid midfield. So Robinson, Kenny Tete, Diop and Cuenca. Then they've gone Sander Berge, Lukic, Pereira, and then Wilson, Iwobi, Jimenez. They've gone for a slightly more like fighting midfield in there. But yeah. What did I study at university? I did business management. Also bringing Isak for Jackson in 17. Only a route unless 2 free transfers. I mean, a lot of people will look to do... a lot of people will look to sell Cunha to do it. Greaves is not in the squad again. Greaves is done. Greaves is finished. Official nail in the Greaves coffin this week. Yeah, so people have said that, like, there's a lot of, like, of those accounts that are like, oh, you know, let's do best new signings of the season, Smith Rowe. But people who are actually watching Smith Rowe every week say that he's not actually been that great this season, great recently. He started well, but he's not been as consistent recently. I wouldn't look at the predictions on price sites just yet, because they're all basically expecting the same number of transfers that have happened in the past hour to happen until midnight. So loads of players will be predicted. My advice to you will be check the site prediction site maybe an hour or two after deadline, and you'll get a much clearer picture on what's likely to happen or not. Cunha is starting, yeah. What GCSEs did I get? I got... I think I got 6 A stars, 3 A's and a B. I can't quite remember, actually. FPL Challenge, we did. This was my team. I got 3 A's in my A level. On my green screen. No, sorry. It's when I twist my chair. I got 3 A's in my A levels. I did maths, chemistry, geography. Is YouTube my part-time job? It is my... We were working out today that it was about a year ago to the day that this was my first stream. Oh, sorry. That it was my full-time job. So I've actually been full-time FPL for a year. It's absolutely flown by. I did. What university did I go to? I went to Durham, which is in the north of the UK. For anyone who didn't know, we're doing McNeil to Enzo tonight. I am a Durham alumni, yeah. Although I was on the bad campus, for anyone who knows anything about Durham. I was in Stockton. What was my career before FPL? I did market research, where I basically looked at what people were buying in shops and told brands what to do with their products. I absolutely loved it. Really enjoyed it. Do I miss it? No, because I absolutely love doing FPL. So it's hard to miss something when I am now doing this as my full-time job. But I absolutely loved it. And if I hadn't have done this, I probably would still be doing it. Almost certainly would still be doing it. That stream felt like yesterday. I know. A few more. You live in Durham? That's what I did. What do I do in the summer? I have about a month in June and I have it off. It's also going to be planning prep for my wedding, which is in the summer as well. So I will be busy. Durham, the north of the UK. North of England. Apologies. Do I play football? 2 questions a minute. I used to play a lot. When I was younger. I played club football. I played at university and stuff like that. I haven't played that much recently. It's quite difficult in London because loads of people want to play in the evenings, and realistically for me, I want to play during the day, during the week, which doesn't work as well. I'm 6'5". Why on earth was I about to answer? I'm 6'5". I'm 6'1" just, but basically 6 foot. What's my plan for the future? Podcast. I've just started a podcast. If you want to check out my podcast, it's called Know the Score. It is linked in the description. Any support on it would be massively appreciated. I'm 24. 24? I'm answering the answer to questions that are just wrong. I'm not 24. I'm 26. I still feel 24. I'm 26. Do I struggle with income during the off season? It's just different. You just have to budget throughout the year. Congrats on the marriage. Not quite married yet, but yeah. How many of my 5 a day do I eat or drink? Probably not 5. Probably 3. I'm deciding whether to go Durham or Newcastle Uni. Would I recommend the former? It depends what you want. I really like Durham because I like the collegiate part of it. Newcastle was meant to be really nice as well, and it is a great city, but I really like Durham. How I met my fiance? I met my fiance at the start of university. In my first week of going to uni. And the rest is history. It's 8 years ago. What do I do for the 3 p.m. games? I watch Soccer Saturday. I quite like Soccer Saturday. I watch enough football. I was all right at school. I didn't particularly enjoy studying. Does my girlfriend know we're getting married? She does. She did say yes. Do I enjoy wedding preparations? Holly enjoys them more. I nod along and say yes. I study business management. Dan said he earns £5 to £10 million a year. Yeah, that's basically what we earn doing YouTube for FPL. To clarify, that is a joke. We don't own anywhere near that. When's the FPL Bake Off? We should definitely do that. I'm all for that. Worst points? I think I've scored 17 on 1 week. Do I have a job apart from this? No, this is now my full-time job. Yeah, that's monthly. Yeah, exactly. The league code, I believe, is correct. It might not work right now because the game's down, but... Don't get me started on the tax, man. I've just had to submit my tax return, and that has been very, very painful. Dylan, how are we doing? Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're both doing well. Plans for Christmas Day. It's the first Christmas I won't be with my family, which is very sad. But I'm with Holly's family, which will be very nice. Considering you live in London, your place is much quieter than Raptors. I mean, I don't live on the ground floor. Like, I live in flats. So I'm a bit away from the road. But yeah, I'm not on like a main road, so it's all right. What does my FIFA team look like? I can show you my FIFA team. I can get my ultimate team up. Oh, what have I just pressed? Favorite food? Probably pizza. Probably. I like Japanese food a lot though. Big fan of all Asian food as well, like Chinese. But if I had to pick one, right. Ooh. I'm going to start playing some of my foot champs. This is my team. I apologise, but I've done about every Serie A SBC going. This is where we're at. I did that like big pack where you got an icon, and I got a second one, and I got a rubbish one. Kane is don't disrespect. 122 goals in 120 games. Domino's or Papa John's? Domino's. 100% Domino's. Thai food is great. Should it be cheaper for you moving out of London now that I do YouTube for a living? Yeah. But Holly works in London, so. Have I seen FPL General and Praz teams similar in rank? I haven't looked at them. I will. Let me have a look at Praz's team. Do I play FC Mobile? I don't. I have no idea how that works, but do I get sides from Domino's? Yes. Garlic bread, the garlic cheesy bread, and chicken kickers. Some of the best. Ooh, that team looks very similar, Praz. He's got Jackson and Enzo, where I've got Semenyo, and he's basically got my team with the transfers that I'm going to do next week. The deadline has passed. What non-Premier League side is closest to you? In location, I have no idea. Maybe Wimbledon? I don't really know. There's not loads of like... I don't really know. Probably that, but... Thoughts on Gabriel starting? He is starting. Who do you manage in Football Manager? I haven't played Football Manager this year. They had to delay the new one, didn't they? What time is it? 2 o'clock. Do I get irritated when people say my too lucky? No, I don't. What's that famous quote about luck? I can't remember. I'll practice. People who did sport basically said you practice hard enough so you can put yourself in a position to get lucky. But no, like it is what it is. Like I fully get that I get lucky some weekends. Sorry, there's just someone at my door. I fully know that I get lucky. Hello. Ugh. You create your own luck. Lewis to Colwell. Yeah, I didn't mind that, but the deadline has passed. Gabriel's bus has arrived. If someone wants to tell me what bus he was on, then let me know. Favourite cricketer? I can't say I really comment, but probably Joe Root. I should play Rocket League with Focal. I've never really done Rocket League. Start Rogers or Clive, but we've done Mazrari. Right, I'm probably going to wrap up the stream there. League code. All the league codes are in the description. I don't watch the NBA. And yeah, we're going to wrap it up there. That is my team. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back with a video at some point tomorrow. My plan is to do Semenyo and Cunha to Isak and Enzo. Isak and Enzo in tonight, potentially. Let's see how Newcastle get on, but that's the plan. But yeah, thank you all very much. Have a lovely weekend, everyone, and I will see you all very soon. I appreciate all the support. Bye.